I got to talk now because I know he's not going to let me talk in like 2 minutes. He talks more than anyone I've ever heard in radio. But that's okay. We love Ken Thomson. He does SportsX Radio here every night. It is from 8 to 10 p.m. It's a great show. He's a great sports handicapper, and he's a mega Raiders fan. I have to say this to start the show because Ken always makes fun of me on his show, which, by the way, I enjoy. It's all lighthearted stuff. Ken would always make fun of my car that I used to own and nonstop. But I got to say this. Ken is a professional handicapper. He texted me yesterday, JD, at like 4 p.m., like scrambling, and he's like, Shap, I need you to make a bet for me. I know you're going to the Westgate. Can you please make a bet for me on the Arizona Cardinals to make it to the playoffs? And I'm like, sure, I'll do my friend a favor, no problem. But I'm thinking to myself, why do you wait till the last second? Ken, that was so amateur of you. Like, you're the guy the day of the Super Bowl that hasn't made a bet yet with 200 people in line, and then you wonder why you didn't get your bet in. Ken, what were you thinking, man? I'm very disappointed in you.
Yeah, I would like to say that was for me, man, but it was not. I have a brother-in-law that is a big-time Cardinals
excuses.
fan, and I would, yep. So there you go. And I just didn't have a chance. I was able. He also, by the way, put 300 on the Cardinals to beat the Niners on the money line, plus 210 on Sunday. So we'll see how that pans out. But this Arizona Cardinal team is going to be good. Real quick, though, Bri, before we get rolling, I do want to just comment on 9/11. There's a reason I still have a landline phone. Most people out there listening, they do not. Reason being, on 9/11, my family, my sister worked at the Trade Center, so did my brother-in-law. You could not get through on a cell phone for 12 hours back from Las Vegas back to the New York area. So I was very fortunate that a couple of my sisters had landlines. I was able to get through. My one sister, who now lives in Las Vegas, was working Aon Insurance. She was working with all the Fortune 500 companies. She happened to take time off for 2 months because her son was going through some disabled learning stuff. And her husband had a meeting Midtown Manhattan. Both of them working for Aon and Marsh Insurance lost over 300 employees apiece, as I think they were on the 95th floor or something like that in one of the trade centers. And they have the memorial books, lost a lot of friends, and pretty crazy how stuff works out. But, that's pretty emotional. And you talked about, listen, Brian, you talked about people jumping. Zach Wild, my brother-in-law, his head of security, Phil Chulo, was a New York detective. He got called because it was all points bulletin. Everybody get there. The only reason he wasn't inside one of the trade centers is because he was covering up the bodies pushed out by the plane from the first one. And he, tough as nails, 25 years on the force, said, KT, I still have nightmares about the people jumping, which you were commenting about.
We all do, Ken. And as you've heard, the last hour or so, we've taken a lot of calls and a lot of people that have shared their stories, either those that live in Las Vegas that were in New York. It's a day that we can never forget, and it's incredible. My only disappointment is, from a sports perspective, is I wish the Yankees won that year. We remember Gonzo, and it was a great World Series. I wish the Yankees won. It would have been great. But anyway.
How about that pitch that Bush threw out, though?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a great pitch.
That was a great moment for the country, no question. So, Ken, we want to have you on every week because we want to talk a little Raiders football with you, talk a little NFL. You're a mega Raiders fan. You know this team inside and out. All right, it's time. Can you believe it, Ken? We've been waiting years and years for this moment to say that a Las Vegas NFL team, in this case the Las Vegas Raiders, are going to be playing their first game. It's not home, it's on the road. But talk to me a little bit about this game, and it is a monumental moment for Las Vegas and football.
No question about it. And the line's moved 4 points since the opener had Carolina favored 1. Now the Raiders are -3. I advise just to, kick back and watch it. I know some people are going to want to bet on it just recreationally, but if you like the Raiders, I wouldn't look to lay 3. As my buddy Chuck Edel says, you got to the dance a little too late. The good-looking girls are gone. You're getting a late line like that. Just stay away, man. But I really think if I'm going to play it at all, and I know the line's gone up to 47.5, I would play the under. And the reason I do that is because the Raiders lost Tyrell Williams, their best receiver. They're going to go with 2 rookie receivers with Ruggs and Edwards. So I think they're going to run Josh Jacobs more. I think they're going to mix things up. And, Gruden likes to run the ball anyway. And then I think Carolina will do the same. You got Christian McCaffrey. Right. And I think the Raiders defense is also going to focus in there. And you have Teddy Bridgewater, although he's a very efficient quarterback as far as percentage-wise, he doesn't throw a deep ball. And so I think this game's probably, more towards the under. I'm surprised that it's moved from 46 to 47.5 as far as the over. But I do think the Raiders will win this game. In fact, I picked the Raiders to go 10-6. Now, that's before the Williams injury. But I'm going to stay with that. I'm not going to get off the bandwagon. I know it's tough to get that many new players in your lineup and have cohesiveness and chemistry. We'll see if they can get it together. But the roster is night and day from when Gruden took over a couple years ago. In fact, there is not one starter on the defense that was there 2 years ago.
Yeah, I totally agree, KT. I think this is looking like more of a maybe like a 21 or 24-10 type of game. Raiders D is going to play very well against McCaffrey, right? Bridgewater, he doesn't really have a lot of weapons. I mean, the rookie wide receiver out of Maryland last year that he played pretty well. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, you look at Ruggs and Edwards. These are two unproven guys. I think the under makes a lot of sense here, KT.
There you go. Well, we'll see how it pans out. I just hope the Raiders take care of business. Look, the offensive line, people say what they want about Richie Incognito since coming to the Raiders. This guy has minded his P's and Q's. He stayed on his medication, and this guy is a beast. His last 3 years with Buffalo, his year last year, all pro years, they have him, and they have Rodney Hudson, the best center in football, I'm convinced, although Kelly signed the biggest contract. Colton Miller has stepped up nicely. Gabe Jackson's finally healthy, and Trent Brown, although banged up, still pretty solid.
Just a monster.
Right.
Hold on a second. I just got a tweet. Someone's asking me, did Ken Thomson stay on his medication? Is that true, Ken? Are you on yours?
I am on some of it.
Ken, you are in
nighttime medication.
I got to give you credit. You have so much energy for a guy that's 85 years old. I mean, you have tremendous energy. No, I'm serious. You're in very good shape. You take care of yourself.
Well, here's the thing. You look Ken's age, and Ken looks your age.
I'm not going to disagree with that. Ken has a full head of hair as well.
He does.
There's no question about that. And
by the way, I'm glad to hear that Richie Incognito has not taken any samurai swords.
Yeah, let's hope that
and gone to places in Las Vegas and caused some problems.
That guy can slip up at any given moment. We hope he doesn't. All right, so Ken, let's talk a little bit about their first home game, right? Again, it's sad. Explain to me why. We saw the Chiefs game last night. There were what, 15,000 fans in there?
17.
There's 17?
Yeah.
What is the reasoning? Is it because of Steve Sisolak? I don't want to get into politics here, but why can't we have some Raiders fans in this new stadium? I mean, that's really disappointing, isn't it?
All right, it is, Brian, but figure it out, man. The PSL's public seat licenses cost an arm and a leg. My buddy, I had him get 4 tickets, $54,000 for 4 seats down on the 5-yard line, row 9. So that's there. So understand, if you're the guy that's paying all this money and your opening game is a Monday night home opener against Drew Brees in New Orleans, and you're in some freaking lottery, and all of a sudden, oh, gosh dang, I didn't win, but we got you Miami tickets in December. Are you kidding me? I'd have all types of legal ramifications going because I'd understand that the people at the Bellagio, all the high rollers, they just happen to win this lottery. Isn't it incredible how the odds just fell their way? So Mark Davis is smarter than that. He doesn't want to deal legality-wise, and he says, you know what? Not only are the fans not going to go this year, I'm not going to go either. Solidarity together. Next year will be the inaugural season for the fans, but this year Allegiant Stadium will be intact. And I really think it's going to be an incredible venue and probably one of the best home field advantages in the near future.
And I'm going to get a little political here, KT. Just one question, but the NFL ratings for the opening night were the lowest they've been in 10 years and a 17% drop-off from 2019. Why do you think that is?
You know what? There's still division, and that's why we talked 9/11. And you're right. I remember how the country came together, and we didn't talk about first responders negatively the way we are throughout the country. Look, a lot has gone on, and there's so many layers to the onion. One day you guys will all get together. We'll have C-Win. We'll have Brian Shapiro, me and JD, and we'll sit down and we'll talk about it for a few hours because I know we differ on opinions, but if you don't have communication, you never move forward.
Oh, Ken, speaking of, you said $50,000 for 4 seats. So if C-Win never put $1 in a slot machine, he'd be able to buy lifetime season tickets for the money he's lost on Caveman Keno. Are you aware of that, Ken?
I am aware of that, but if you just take the money that he's lost on the Detroit Lions throughout his career, as far as make the playoffs, that right there pays for everything.
Very true. All right, so Ken, since it is week 1, give to me your pick of what do you think will be the most disappointing team of the season in the NFL, and give me your team that will be the biggest surprise of the season.
Oh, boy. I do think the Arizona Cardinals are a team that's going to make the playoffs. I agree with my brother-in-law. I really love the acquisition of Hopkins, getting him from the Texans. You put him together with Kirk and Fitzgerald and Kyler Murray. I knew this kid was special when he was at Oklahoma. So I think this team, and I do think they have an opportunity to beat San Francisco out of the gate. If they do that, I'd really pencil them in for a postseason position. So I like them. I'm looking at Detroit as being a potential surprise in the NFC North. I'm not sold on Green Bay. Rodgers not getting any new receivers. He's got Adams. Minnesota, Ngakoue coming over will help the defensive line, but, Detroit could be a surprise. As far as the biggest disappointment, I'm going to go out on the limb, and I'm going to say Tampa Bay. Everybody's going to give Brady and Gronk and hey, listen, Brady doesn't have Edelman. He doesn't have James White. He doesn't have those safety valves. As good as Ronald Johnson is, and he's pretty good. I'm a USC guy, so I like him. And you bring in, a couple other decent running backs. That's all well and good. But nobody's a Julian Edelman. And to get the ball to Godwin and Evans, you better have time. Remember, Brady's 43.
I agree.
Good luck scrambling around.
Ken, I agree 100%. The biggest coach that is on the biggest hot seat that you don't think will make it through the season that will be fired?
That will be fired. Gosh dang, because I think Pittsburgh's very overrated too. I think a lot of people are putting too much credence into Ben Roethlisberger coming back. Well, Adam Gase for me for sure is going to get canned if the Jets don't at least get near the 500 mark. They better get there because they'll be gone. He just rubs people the wrong way, and I think he's a very overrated coach. And I don't even know how he got that job because I didn't think he did a good job in Miami at all.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Kind of like how I rub people the wrong way. I kind of agree, but hopefully I won't be fired.
KT
not you, Ryan. Are you kidding me?
Is Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk playing for the Niners? Because if they are, I don't feel great about the Cardinals winning. If they aren't, I love the Cardinals to win the game outright.
Well, you know what? I mean, the whole thing is I want guys to play. I want these guys to play. Right now, there's neither of those guys are on the injury report that I'm looking at for, well, let me see. Samuel. Yeah, Samuel. Actually, Samuel's doubtful now, so he is upgraded to doubtful. So that's key.
That's huge.
Ayuk is questionable with the hamstring. Yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, the Niners are a solid team. They got there, but they blew the 10-point lead with 11 minutes to go in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it could be a hangover. We'll wait and see. But Arizona, don't worry about Arizona. If you got the 7.5, you're good. And South Point is a very sharp book. They are sitting at 6.5, while there were a couple places, Coast and CGT, that were sitting at 7.5. So for you to have that key number of 7, and you have two books on the opposite side or 3 books on the opposite side, that just shows you the amount of money that's already been wagered on this game.
All right, Ken, last question for you here, and then I want to give you an opportunity to plug the great show that you do here on K-Dawn from 8 to 10 p.m. How many games will the Raiders win this year? Will they make it to postseason, and do they have a chance to move down the road in postseason and win some games? Where do you think this team goes this year?
I think the team goes 10-6, and again, without Williams, that may be a step back, but I definitely over 500. The win total 7.5. I've made that. I made a couple bets, $500 bets on my show on the air with Brad Powers and Matt Humans from the Beeson Network. So I'm not afraid to back this team. I think the roster's outstanding. When you can cut guys like Amukamara and Randall from your veteran secondary players, that just shows you have some depth. So I'm telling you, the Raiders will make the playoffs. They'll get off to a great start on Sunday, beating Carolina. And again, the show, SportsX Radio, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10, 101.5 on the FM side, 720 on the AM side, KDWN.
Ken, you do a great show, my friend. You're a good friend, and I'm glad you're over here at KDWN, and look forward to doing this segment with you every week, my friend. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun season.
Look forward to it, Chappie, and you just keep handicapping your golf. You're doing a great job.
I am, actually. By the way, quickly, before we go, the only matchup I have today is a guy that looks like Craig Stadler. His name is Harry Higgs. He's a rookie on tour. I took a matchup between him and Harold Varner III. Harry Higgs plus 175. Higgs is -7 through 13 holes. Harold Varner -1 through 13 holes. I'm looking pretty good, Ken.
Chappie, you're awesome, man. Stay with what you know. Like Clint Eastwood said, a man's got to know his limitations.
This is true.
However, we're not playing KT in a shoot-around in basketball. If you stayed away from that, you'd still have your reputation, but it's pretty fragile.
Ken Angle Shooter Thomson. Now I'll just.
Whatever day. And like the Raiders say, like Al Davis said, just win, baby.
That's all that matters, Ken. You are absolutely right. Well, Ken, good luck this weekend. Good luck this weekend, my friend. We'll catch up with you next week. Appreciate the time, and make sure to listen to Ken Thompson, SportsX Radio tonight. He's going to be previewing all the games 8 to 10. Ken, appreciate the time, my friend.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
KT.